most likely there will come some heavy times ahead of us, but not before we are still going to see some good times. And that's why this video is so important, because in today's video we are going to have a look at the short and longer term time frame of the business cycle, the financial cycle, but also have a look at crypto, right? So we are going to talk about this, the macro situation right now. But of course, guys, let's start off with having a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually coming down a little bit, like we have been saying yesterday also. We touched the 61.80%, the golden ratio right here. So far, this level is showing some resistance, and it makes complete a lot of sense. Why? Because we have also the stablecoin dominance, where we actually right now are consolidating into that support. So I would expect, guys, that this definitely is going to bounce to the upside, and that we are going to get at least a small correction with Bitcoin. Let things cool off a little bit, and I do hope, and I also think that we do get like something like this, where we then can break below this support. But don't forget, guys, this is quite a big support that we are touching right now in the stablecoin dominance. And if this would be any chart out there, and you have you come down such overstretched into such an important support level with bullish divergences on the 4-hour time frame and on the 8-hour time frame, form a macro resistance, right? I do expect somewhat of a reaction, right? And we can tell ourselves, yeah, but it's Bitcoin bull market. When Bitcoin goes, it goes, and that's true, right? Crazy things happening. But if I would approach this from a rational standpoint, guys, coming down with bullish divergences into a major support over on the stablecoin dominance, I would at least expect a reaction right here. So therefore, I think Bitcoin will see somewhat of a correction right here. But I also do think, I'm quite optimistic, I do think that we can continue this uptrend and push to higher levels, because right now I'm definitely believing that we are in that 16-year cycle. And it's actually kind of crazy, guys, because since the beginning of this bear market, I've been talking about that 16-year cycle, which basically is what we are seeing right now, a acceleration in the bull market very early. And the crazy part, guys, is in 2019 I actually made a prediction in the bear market that Bitcoin is going to top on September 2021. Well, that was very close to the top, and that was also based on cycles. That was based on the Shemitah cycle as well, combined cycles basically. But that in hindsight, that was completely accurate. And for me, I often see that during the bear market, I can make very good predictions on what's happening in the future, but it is very hard to execute when that future becomes reality, because you are being caught in the market sentiment, right? Everyone is positive, everyone makes money, your greed is coming up, so that is something you gotta know yourself basically. But it looks really to me that Bitcoin is forming the 16-year cycle. I don't really believe that we are going to see a super cycle, right? That Bitcoin is going to 200, 300,000 US dollars. I think if Bitcoin were to be so bullish, then we would have seen Bitcoin going to these levels in the previous cycle. Right, not to these levels, but we would have seen more explosive moves in the previous cycles, because what we are seeing right now is clearly diminishing returns. So every cycle, is getting new all-time highs, but it's not that exponential anymore. They are coming actually quite close. So why would this cycle suddenly explode? I think it's more a narrative to push retail into crypto, into Bitcoin, and get that real feeling of FOMO. But I definitely think that all the gaps that we are seeing on the CME futures chart, also the gap at 20,000 US dollars, we are going to fill that in the future. And I think, guys, when we have that secular bear market on Bitcoin, I think after Bitcoin's bull market, this bull market, Bitcoin could still see levels of 10,000 US dollars. And it might sound crazy, but I really do think that, because we had a bear market of 1 year where we went from 70k to 15k. But a secular bear market means a multi-year long bear market. We not necessarily have to go to these levels, but I think it's definitely possible, because we also had a very long secular bull market, a very long uptrend already for 14 years, something like that, or 12 years, and that also needs a bigger correction. That's what I think, guys. That's what we have seen with the dot-com bubble as well, and that's also something I want to share with you, because if we have a look, for example, at the dot-com bubble, it was not that internet companies did not get more adoption, right? Like this is where the dot-com bubble basically popped. This was in the year 2000. And as you can see, and this is, by the way, guys, this is the S&P 500 divided by the money supply. So this is the purchasing power of the stock market, right? If you look at this without the M2 money supply, you see it making new all-time highs, but the purchasing power is lower. So the all-time highs are a illusion. It's an illusion. The stock market is a very big illusion, and the Federal Reserve is the wizard that creates that illusion. All the time that we are in a booming economy, all the time that we have new all-time highs. Guys, the last time we were trading at these levels was 23 years ago, and at the dot-com bubble, we already were higher. So we are right now still below the dot-com bubble high. Look at that, that's just kind of crazy. So that's also what I'm talking about. This was the secular bull market, where we have a massive bull market in internet companies, the internet coming up, Amazon, Google, you name it, right? And it was not that at the year 2000 people were stopping to use these products. No, it's the opposite. People were accelerating to use these products, right? YouTube exploded, Google exploded, Amazon exploded, Facebook exploded, you name it. Internet was only getting started right here in the year 2000. But the stock market, they needed a correction. They needed a bigger correction. And of course, this is not only the dot-com cycle. We also have here the housing market crash, the fall of the Lehman Brothers. But you can see that this is a very long bull market. So this was from 83, roughly right here, from the year 83 to the year 2000. That is really a secular bull market, where we just have a very long-term uptrend. Then at one moment, this chart needed a very long-term downtrend to reset, basically, to reset all that bullish sentiment. And what we are seeing right now, guys, and also if you have noticed, we have two lines right here. We have the interest rates, that is the red line, and we got the yield curve right here. And the interest rates is interesting. Why? Because when the interest rates are going up high, money becomes more expensive, less money will be flown into the economy, right? And right now we can see that the interest rates, guys, are as high as we have seen it right here in 2008, right before the crash, the fall of the Lehman Brothers. And then once this thing is going down, once this thing is breaking some key support, then the Federal Reserve starts to lower these interest rates, because Jerome Powell already knows what's going to happen. This thing is going to crash. Why? Because he caused it. He hires the interest rates to crash this thing. And then once it is falling, and he noticed that it's falling, they are lowering the interest rates. And then once at the bottom, you can see that the interest rates are just low for a very long time. So money is very cheap, being pushed in the economy, and the thing is going back up. The crazy thing, guys, I'm tracking these cycles, and you can see that the top of the business cycle was actually exactly when the dot-com bubble was at its peak. That's very crazy. The bottom of the business cycle was exactly when we seen the fall of the Lehman Brothers right here. Then we started a new business cycle, and we basically already surpassed the top of that cycle. And that also what makes it very interesting and dangerous in what is going to happen next. And that is that what are we going to see with the regular financial markets? I mean, the regular financial markets looks quite bullish short-term time frame, because we are seeing this rally, right? But is it actually looking that bullish? Now, I want to talk about a couple of things. I think that the bottom of the business cycle is coming in 2026. I have a high conviction of that, and I think it's also very interesting that Bitcoin's bottom also is 2026 when we have a look at the 4-year cycle, but also when we have a look at the 16-year cycle. 2026 is going to be a very important year, and I think the years before 2026 are not going to be that pleasant, right? We are right now in 2023. I still think that we can see somewhat of a rally in all the markets. That is what we often see. Even though we get an inversion of the yield curve, even though the interest rates are very high, we can still see a rally in all of the markets to kind of get some exit liquidity, and then we can start that longer bear market basically. So we have this massive resistance that we haven't been breaking since the year 2001. So that's almost 23 years resistance right here. And we touched it, we got rejected, now we're coming back up. Maybe we touch it, we get rejected again, and we are slowly going into that declining phase and going to the bottom of the cycle. Maybe Q1 2024. That's what the 16-year cycle also says, that Bitcoin could top Q1 2024. But maybe we do something like this, right, where it will be a little bit later, and then we do something like this. Maybe we touch even the top of this channel. That is possible. It is possible, guys, that after the top of the business cycle we still see higher levels. That is definitely a possibility. It is, of course, less likely. It is very interesting, guys, that the top of this cycle was in 2018, and you can actually argue. I wrote an article for Bitcoin Magazine. I shared it yesterday in my video down below. You can actually argue that Bitcoin's top of the business cycle also was 2017, 2018. And why is that? Because the amount of Google searches for Bitcoin in 2017 was higher than 2020, 21. The amount of volume on Bitcoin exchanges was higher, not if you look at the direct point, because there was one day in 2020 or 2021, one day that it actually was higher than 2017. But if you take a 7-day moving average, you can clearly see that the trading volume in 2017, 2018 was higher than 2020, 21. So if you look at timing, you could already say that the top of the business cycle in Bitcoin has already occurred. That doesn't mean that Bitcoin cannot see higher levels. Bitcoin can still have that effect of seeing higher levels, but it's becoming less and less likely. Right, and that is just because a long uptrend also needs a long, probably a long breather, a long correction to reset that. And when we have a look at the interest rates are very high, money is very expensive. Sooner or later, this will be reflected in the economy. We get a yield curve inversion. Normally when the yield curve is inverting, we also have like 4 to 6 months until we are seeing a recession. So these scenarios, they fit perfectly with the 16-year cycle. We continue to go up right now. December we go up, January we go up, maybe February, but in those time frames we are going to see an early top. It might sound very far from your bet because, wow, it's so early, we're just starting the bull market, right? Yes, but that is kind of what that 16-year cycle predicts. And I think if you don't consider this cycle, but you just assume, we're going to see a new 4-year cycle top in 2025. And don't get me wrong, guys, it's all possible. It is definitely possible. But what if it's not happening? What if we top out in January, February, or March? What if that is the bull market top and then we enter a multi-year long bear market? Have you ever considered that? Are you prepared for such a scenario? And I'm definitely going to prepare myself. I'm going to take a lot of risk off the table. I think Q1 2024. There are methods, and I've shared this before, and I will share that on the channel right here as well. There are methods to kind of get confirmation on whenever we are going to, whenever we are seeing it happening in the chart. So when the chart is turning around and Bitcoin is stopping, there are certain metrics that we can use to confirm that we've entered a bear market very, very early. Like maybe 1 week after we enter the bear market, we can already verify that with certain data. So that is kind of crazy. I will do that right here on the channel. So make sure to subscribe down below. That's very important. But it is also very important for yourself that you're not convinced. You don't have to be convinced about these ideas and that this is going to happen. But at least put yourself open to the influence of having a look at the markets from this perspective. Because the biggest mistake that traders make, including me, is that we hang on onto one scenario, or could also be this scenario, right? Hang on to one scenario, just think that it's going to happen, suddenly really start to believe in that, and just confirmation bias. Just only look for information that is confirming your thesis, and don't look for information that might invalidate your thesis, because I might be wrong on this. I might definitely be wrong on this. But yeah, I definitely think that even though if I'm wrong on this scenario, I'm still going to win, because I entered Bitcoin at 16,000 US dollars. I already did a 2x on my portfolio with that money, and we did a lot of good trades over on Will Alerts where we took a lot of advantage in this bull market. So I'm compared to the bear market low, I'm already up significantly. Right, and I would love to go that back to the levels of 2020, 2021, but I'm also okay if I have to take profits earlier. Right, it's still okay. It's still in a winning. I still have a massive winning, and maybe we can change our strategy. Look for more shorts. It also gives a very unique opportunity to buy Bitcoin at very low prices, maybe in 2026, and maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but when I'm just looking at all these signals, like super high interest rates, inversion of the yield curve, then at least for the regular financial markets, guys, I don't think there is much gas in this tank to break above this resistance, which we couldn't break for 23 years. And just start a new uptrend while we also actually approaching the bottom of the business cycle in 2026. And guys, I have to say the bottom of the business cycle, okay, this one was not so accurate, but it was kind of close to the bottom. This one was exactly at the bottom. This was at the top. This one, you could also view if this would be something like this, that it is kind of at the top. These business cycles, these macro cycles, they are not accurate on the date, but they are, if you zoom out from a bigger perspective, they are very much accurate. And I believe in these cycles, and I've seen the significance of these cycles, and I've even predicted so many bear markets and so many tops in the regular financial market purely based on these cycles. And I knew that William Delbert Gann was using these cycles. So I'm a huge fan of these cycles, just to get a little bit the macro picture, right? I mean, with Bitcoin 4-year cycles, if you would knew them early on, you would outperform any trader. You would exactly buy around the bottom. You would exactly sell around the top. No problem. Easy. If you just knew that cycle early on. Most people, I learned about the 4-year cycle in 2019. That really gave me an edge to buy the bottom in 2019. It gave me an edge to buy the bottom in 2022 when we were at 15,000 US dollars. And yeah, right now I think a lot of people are going in the market with the same mentality. Okay, we have a regular 4-year cycle, while actually you can already see it right now. This cycle is already different than previous 4-year cycles, because we didn't have that 30% correction yet. We didn't have that 30% correction. We only had a couple of 20% corrections right here. We are walking the ladder. This cycle is already higher and is already extended. And this cycle is also different because Bitcoin went up while the Dixie goes up, regular financial markets go down. So this cycle is already different, right? Interest rates are very high. Yield inversion is coming. So I already got to tell you guys, this cycle looks already different. So this makes me also think that, we are probably seeing that 16-year cycle. And Bitcoin's coming down now a little bit. I do think, like I said, I think we are going to correct, because any logical mind like this, also this macro channel right now touching the support, which was former resistance, also is the first Fibonacci level. So much things are coming down right here. And if you go to the 4-hour time frame and you get like this bullish divergence, I can't make anything else from it than I think we're at least going to get a bounce in this chart. This chart looks like bouncing. That's maybe an 80% chance against 20. So that's why I'm still sticking to the fact that I think Bitcoin is going to correct right here. And I would say, guys, no one is expecting that. Why? Because if you only look at Bitcoin, it is quite confusing if you only look at the structure. But if you take the stablecoin dominance chart as a confirmation, you can be way sure. And we actually, guys, predicted the exact top right here. I've shared over on Will Alerts right here at the top, 37,500, exactly here. I shared over on Will Alerts, okay, right now I'm going to take risk off the table because we are exactly at the support and the stablecoin dominance. We had alerts there. Time to take chips off the table. Wait until this thing resolves, right? If this thing breaks down, yes, let's enter again. Okay, but if this thing going to bounce, we can enter Bitcoin at lower levels, right? So definitely so far doing pretty good with that. And yeah, if you want to join Will Alerts, you can for free. The only thing you need to do is you need to be active on an exchange that we are recommending down below this video. And I also want to share the following, because I heard sometimes someone has a problem with a certain exchange because of their region where they live, the IP address. I don't know, you can have a reason sometimes, right? But if you signed up with the affiliate link down below and you have a problem with the exchange, which of course I don't hope and I also don't expect directly, but then from my side, because you are an affiliate from the community, I can also reach out as the partner of that exchange and ask, hey, what's going on? I got someone in my community that joined Will Alerts and he has a problem with the exchange, right? So I can then directly find the right person to talk with, because I have already direct contact with these exchanges. So if you sign up with these affiliate links, it's not only that you get these extra benefits, like you get a bonus, a deposit bonus, you get a access to Will Alerts, but you also get more safety as you are belonging to a community that has direct communication with the exchange, and the exchange wants to have a good contact, good relationship with the person that is promoting these exchanges as well. So whenever there's a problem and I will reach out to those exchanges, I will directly get a manager or someone important where we can talk to and then fix any problems. So yeah, guys, and I cannot do that if you are not registered with the affiliate link, because then it's also, there's no link to me, right? So that's just what I'm saying. But yeah, guys, that is about Bitcoin today. I still think, we're going to see that correction. How deep is that correction going to be? I think the stablecoin dominance will tell us how deep that correction is going to be. And yeah, you always know, maybe deeper than expected, maybe not. Maybe a big flush of long positions. We have already long positive funding rates for quite some time. So yeah. Definitely, maybe I'm going to watch this 8.9%, maybe right here 8.45%. These are the levels that I'm watching, because there's definitely some levels of reaction in this chart, and if that coincides with some Bitcoin support, I might buy in a little bit cheaper. And guys, if you haven't checked it out already, what I've shared in my previous videos, we actually built a algorithm over on Will Portal, which is showing you exactly in which moments you need to buy and which moments you need to sell. I'll make a video, a separate video about this, because if you would have used this metric from last year, you would have made a profit of 41%. And then people say, yeah, but could you outperform Bitcoin? Hell yeah, you could outperform Bitcoin. Why? You can use your Bitcoin to trade Bitcoin as collateral with 2 or 3x leverage, and you would make a 80% or 120% profit if you would have used these. If you would only have bought at the green dot and sold at the red dot. Bought green, sell red. Bought green, sell red. So yeah, not everyone will be profitable, of course. Here, bought green, sell red. I don't know, maybe that one was not profitable, this one not. Small losses, but yeah, in the end, it adds up. It's a very good algorithm, and it's really show. You can even combine it with derivatives exchange data, and if you do that and you understand all the data correctly, you're gonna rock it. You're gonna rock the markets, guys. You're really gonna rock the markets. To add this, you just click on this thing right here. Will all go. 1 is better than 2, although sometimes 2 gives a better entry. tool has slightly different and gives sometimes a little bit better entry, but not triggers every time. That's why Whale Algo 1 is the best one. And these signals are automated already for whale alerts. So if you are in whale alerts, whenever these signals occur on the 4-hour time frame, they are automated, and you will see buy signal, sell signal. So if you want to receive them and don't want to be 24/7 in front of this chart to look whenever these fire, you can check with the affiliate link down below. Bybit, best exchange, of course, $30,000 bonus, but you need to have KYC. BingX, no KYC, roughly $10,000 bonus, and you can trade regular financial markets, stuff like that. I think it's very interesting because that's also what I'm going to do more, trade the regular financial markets using crypto. And we have BitGet, of course. BitGet, beautiful exchange. Very much altcoins that you can buy there. Sometimes that you cannot buy on Bybit. And a lot of altcoins that we have been calling over on the whale alerts were also available over on BitGet. Very beautiful exchange, but probably also need KYC over on BitGet. BingX, no KYC. So yeah, your choice, guys. Let me know what you think about my Bitcoin analysis down below in the video. I want to wish every single one of you a beautiful day today. If you're still watching right now after 26 minutes, I can see it. Guys, you are a freaking legend, okay? I wish you a beautiful day, guys, and hope to see every single one of you in the next video.